So I wanted to talk about two things that I think are not always connected, but really deserve to be connected. And one is the Mayan calendar and its end date that is coming up fairly shortly. And the other is about the world's economic situation, about the creation of money and the nature of money. In order to understand the process that the world is in now, I think the best way is to look upon it against the background on the Mayan calendar. As you may know, in 2012 there will be this end date of the Mayan calendar. I think there are so many misconceptions about the Mayan calendar out there. Some of them are powerful media, like Hollywood movies and so forth. And I think they are almost manipulating people. Like, that is the day the world will come to an end. And it's really very ridiculous, this whole thing, if you look upon it from the actual sources to this presumed date. In other words, if we go back to the ancient Mayan sources, they never ever say that the world is coming to an end. The only actual inscription that exists from the ancient times about this date is the one that says, on that particular date, 9 gods will descend. To the Maya, each time period was a god. So 9 time periods, 9 evolutionary wave movements are coming to an end at that date. And it's much more useful and much more truthful to look upon that date as a date when all of these processes is coming to a fulfillment in order to create the birth of a new world. Now, the way I look upon it, our civilization is in for a huge overhaul, a huge makeover, like a complete birth of a new world. And if you accept the idea that these energies are so much shaping human culture and civilization, you might also accept the idea that there is a plan that we really didn't script ourselves for how this is going to turn out and where it's going. And I'm really very positive and enthusiastic about this birth of a new world, which would be completely different from what it's like now. Because I think it will be a world where there is peace, where there is equality between people, where there is a sense of safety and also a sense of belonging to the spiritual universe that has created us. At the same time, I feel the path there might be quite difficult. And if you think about it, maybe humanity has not really exactly been on track on that. You know, I think it's more accurate to say that we have acted in a way that we have endangered the planet with a kind of growth only looking to abstract values, what we may gain, so forth, and without consideration of actually creating this particular world. With that as a background, you know, I think it's interesting to look at the kind of economic downturn that we're in now. And here I'd like to say that I wrote this book published in 2004 called The Mayan Calendar and the Transformation of Consciousness. And then when it comes to the world economy, I'm basically making 3 predictions. I'm saying that a global financial collapse will start when the 5th night begins, which really was 19th of November 2007. I'm also saying that the world dominance from the Western Hemisphere, essentially the US and UK, is going to come to an end as part of this process. And I'm also saying that the whole idea of looking for abstract value, in other words, whatever is on computer digits and on paper money and so forth, will come to an end. It will be, at the very least, it will be dramatically come in a completely new context, so to speak, because this new world will not be driven by the desire to accumulate this kind of abstract value. It has to be based on something which is matches the needs of the living people. Typically, if you look at these Mayan pyramids that are built in 9 stories, it's like 9 levels of evolution, each symbolized by these terraces on the pyramid. Now, each of these 9 levels of evolution was then subdivided into what they would call 13 heavens, which again are time periods that are constituting a wave movement. Whenever there is a shift in this wave movement, when it goes up into the peak or when it goes down into the valley, you can see that significant things happen in evolution. I'm talking about evolution as human history, because in the Mayan perspective, we're all part of an evolution that is designed by the cosmic forces. What is happening on the planet and on Earth, it's not unrelated to a cosmic plan. We're living in a cosmic plan, and this cosmic plan is coming to a fulfillment in a short period of time. And this is a very important thing if you want to understand how the Mayan calendar works. It is to understand that our mind, our creativity is not independent of the cosmic forces, what the Maya would call gods, but the cosmic energies. Instead, every such time period has a different purpose, a very significant purpose of bringing a particular change around. If you look at the more recent economic history of the world, you will also see that it's markedly so that those time periods that are nights are times that are bringing depressions, economically speaking. Whereas those time periods that are days, they are bringing new prosperity in terms of the economy, or the wheels turning at a much faster rate. The last one started in 1991. That was a time when all the telecom, all the internet, and all this whole new world of information technology emerged. And so that brought a period of economic growth. So you get a clear picture when you look upon this of how these energies are alternating and bringing about a wave movement of growth and alternating with depressions or recessions. I was very exact in saying when the global economic meltdown would begin. Today, economists say that this happened in December of 2007. And as you can see on this slide here, it's been going down ever since. But then around the time in early November, which happens to coincide with the election of President Obama in the United States, it sort of came a new hope, a new day basically was activated that sort of changed the mood around a little bit, and we now passed into the second half of this particular day. But the way I look upon it, when the next night begins, which is in November of this year, we may be in for, again, a complete, some kind of a downfall, especially where paper money loses their value. And I think it's a good idea to not discard that possibility. Suddenly we realize that something completely new is near ahead, and we may understand this, and we understand that our control is not as great as we thought. I think this creates a worrisome, and I think we are called to have faith in the process. To have faith in the process, one important aspect is to know about the Mayan calendar and how the energies have been driving, that there is a purpose to it all, and I think that is something that might alleviate some of the fears that are associated with it.